What was the main basis of the Hittite economy? Agriculture and trade. Why did scholarship and the arts develop together during the Renaissance? Because of human-centered thinking. Which ancient Greek philosopher emphasized empirical inquiry and logical reasoning? Aristotle. What were the main building materials used in ancient Egypt? Limestone and sandstone. Which general led the parliamentary forces to victory in the English Civil War? Oliver Cromwell. What was the policy called in which Roman citizens were provided with free bread and entertainment? Bread and circuses. Which explorer set sail believing that the Earth is round? Columbus. In which battle did Alexander the Great first defeat the Persian king Darius III? The Battle of Issus. During the Spring and Autumn and Warring States period in China, what school of thought, centered on law and punishment, emerged to impose order? Legalism. Which unit in the Roman army was responsible for long-range reconnaissance and mobility? The cavalry. When did the Meiji Restoration, which led Japan's modernization, begin? Year 1868. Who was the one and only God worshipped by the Hebrews? Yahweh. Which three major cities did Cambyses II use as his main bases? Memphis, Susa, and Persepolis. Which field of philosophy explores the role of the state and the nature of justice? Political philosophy. What effect did the appearance of new weapons have on World War I? It prolonged the war. What is the name of the volcano in southern Italy whose eruption in 79 destroyed Pompeii? Mount Vesuvius. What natural disaster led to the fall of the Yin, Shang, dynasty? Flooding of the Yellow River. Which ancient kingdom was home to the Library of Alexandria? The Ptolemean Kingdom. What was the name of the edict by which Emperor Constantinus legalized Christianity? The Edict of Milano. What was the treaty that imposed harsh reparations on defeated Germany after World War I? The Versailles Treaty. What was the organization established after World War I to promote international peace? The League of Nations. Why did European kings sponsor learning and the arts? To gain political legitimacy and prestige. Constantinople, the capital of the Byzantine Empire, became the capital of the Ottoman Empire after the fall of Byzantium. What is this city called today? Istanbul. Who was the first black president of South Africa who led the abolition of apartheid? Nelson Mandela. When the Roman army was pursuing Hannibal's forces, what ingenious tactic did Hannibal use to escape? He deceived the Roman army with a herd of cattle set on fire. What was the famous battle fought between the Hittites and Egypt? Battle of Kadesh. What was the name of the 1545 council that led the Catholic Counter-Reformation? The Council of Trent. Where was Mesopotamian civilization located? Between the Tigris River and the Euphrates River. Which ancient Greek city established a militaristic system and enforced a strict educational regime? Sparta. How did the Theban army use cavalry on the battlefield? To protect and support the flanks of the phalanx. What was the main reason why Alexander the Great destroyed Persepolis? Revenge for the Persian Wars and the destruction of a political symbol. Which Union general became the 18th President of the United States after the Civil War? Ulysses Simplice Grant. According to Aristoteles, what is the best kind of life? A life that practices virtue, a life of the mean. Which ancient Greek philosopher described human beings as political animals? Aristoteles. What was the policy that President Roosevelt pursued to overcome the Great Depression in the United States? The New Deal policy. What aspect of the Mycenaean civilization is reflected in its manner of worshipping the gods and its principal sacrifices? Polytheistic rituals. What was the moral code that knights in Western Europe were expected to follow? Chivalry. What was the economic blockade policy by which Napoleon sought to cut off trade with Britain in order to dominate the European continent? The Continental System. What was the term for the wealthy middle class after the French Revolution? Bourgeoisie. In ancient Athens, what was the political system in which citizens directly participated? Direct democracy. Thank you for watching until the end. We'd love to hear your feedback and historical insights in the comments. Your support helps us create even more history quizzes. Let's keep exploring together.